What's going on, my Century Guinness? It's the Century here, so back again with another classic WWE pay-per-view review. Before the start of this video, note, if you hear a fan noise, I turn on my fan because it's hot. Man, this heat wave, wow. I don't want to get into it, but I'm not reviewing this wrestling pay-per-view without any cold air. Anyway, it's a long overdue. I should have reviewed this show a month ago. I did a voting poll on my community tab for what classic WWE pay-per-view you want me to review in the month of May. Now we're in June, or the end of June, and a lot of people vote for Judgment Day 2000. I'm going to review this show right now. So this show was at the Freedom Hall in Louisville, Kentucky, on the 21st of May 2000. The attendance of the show was 16,827. Judgment Day 2000 drew about 420,000 pay-per-view buys. The commentators for Judgment Day 2000 are JR and The King. This show was memorable for one, you got the really good Iron Man match, a 1 hour Iron Man match between The Rock and Triple H. We got the return of you know who. I'll get to that later on. And also note, this is the first Judgment Day pay-per-view, or this is the second ever Judgment Day pay-per-view. The first one was in 1998. That was a In Your House show. This is the second one ever, because the 1988 edition of that show that was known for the, Undertaker vs Kane for the vacant WWF Championship. Stone Cold Steve Austin as the special guest referee. This is leading up to Vince firing Austin on the spot because he's not doing his job of calling down the middle. So Austin got fired. That's just setting up the Deadly Games tournament match at that year's Survivor Series. And also, this is the first Judgment Day pay-per-view to take place in the month of May, because the 1998 edition was an October pay-per-view. This one is in the month of May. It replaced Over the Edge. Over the Edge was used to be the company's original May pay-per-view. They did two in 98 and 99. They got rid of it after 1999 because of the death of Owen Hart, so they didn't bring it back, and they decided to bring back Judgment Day as the annual month pay-per-view. I think it's a right call because it's got a good name to it, and became the company's annual May pay-per-view until they got rid of Judgment Day until in 2009. I hope they bring that back too, because Triple H is now in charge. He just brought back King of the Ring. He might. There's rumors that they're bringing back Bad Blood, but who knows? So yeah, people talk about May pay-per-views in the history of WWE. They'll probably talk about Judgment Day. I think Judgment Day got a lot of memorable moments than Over the Edge. Well, not Over the Edge, but any May pay-per-views. But anyway, so the first match to kick off Judgment Day 2000. We got a 6-man tag team match. Too Cool, that is Rikishi, Scarlett 2 Hottie, and Grandmaster Sexay taking on Team ECK, Team Mac. That's the team of Edge and Christian and Kurt Angle. This was funny. Before the actual match, the segment was funny with Angle, Edge, and Christian. They're basically mocking the people from Kentucky, dressed up like hillbillies, wearing straw hats, playing musical instruments, I think one of them played a banjo. There was a washing board and a jug. Edge was wearing like fake rotten plastic teeth, bashing. Yeah, they were basically bashing Southern folk. That's kind of funny. And I think the dynamic group between Edge and Christian and Kurt Angle is underrated. They're very entertaining. They prove you don't need to be serious heels to get over. They got over for being comedy heels. They show their personality. And also Christian got booed. You know, they got cheered. You know, T-Mac. You know, when Christian on the mic, he says, "We're glad to be back in Louisville." You know, that has, you know, you can tell this. You know, there has to be heels. You know, that got a good boo, a slight boo, because this show's in Louisville, Kentucky. Anyway, the match between Too Cool and T-Mac, it was good. It was a fun match. Didn't outstay its welcome. Rikishi did I think he did like a trio splash onto T-Mac, and also giving Kurt Angle a stink face. I think like he grabbed, what did he grab? I think he grabbed Edge, and then Christian hit Rikishi on the head with the ring bell, and then he kind of placed, I think he kind of placed Edge over Rikishi, and then I think it was Sky. Before that, I think he had Sky Too High hit the worm onto, I think it was onto Edge or Christian, and in the end, I think it was Grandmaster Sexy or Too Cool or Sky Too High. My apologies. I think it was Brian Christopher or Sky Too High did like a move off the top rope, hit Edge, and then Rikishi pin Edge for the win. So yeah, it was a good way to kick off the pay-per-view. Angle didn't got pinned, and also there was my only nitpick about this. Angle trying to break up the pin. I think he was a little bit too late, but that is a slightly only nitpick about it. So it's just what it is. I think Angle didn't got pinned up. That was the right call, because they building up Angle, because Angle's gonna have that good rookie year. Because the following month he ended up winning King of the Ring, and then months later he become World Wrestling Federation champion for the team. And also Edge and Christian was entered this match as tag team champions. They just won the belts at WrestleMania 16 in the Triangle Ladder match. Edge and Christian and Too Cool end up trading back and forth with the championship. I think one of them went on to win the belts at the following month's King of the Ring pay-per-view. So yeah, it was a good match to kick off the pay-per-view. So move on to the next match. So the next match, this is a triple threat match for the European Championship. Eddie Guerrero with his Mamacita China in his corner, defending the belts against Perry Saturn and Dean Malenko. The Radicals exploded because Benoit was doing his own thing. You could tell that group was kind of relevant. They kind of slightly reformed. They were kind of reformed at the second half of the year. But, like Benoit and Guerrero doing their own thing. It's just what it is. Anyway, this was really the continuation of this storyline between Eddie Guerrero and China, the Mamacita storyline that really, giving China some kind of a love storyline, because she's been in the company for 3 years. She was Triple H's bodyguard, part of DX, feuding with Jarrett, feuding with Jericho. Now we're stuck with Eddie now, doing this love storyline interest storyline. I'm trying to get my words out, but it was giving China something to do, and it really was good. People compare this on-screen relationship between China and Eddie to Dominic and Rhea, part of the Judgment Day, but that's just my comparison to that storyline between China and Eddie Guerrero. Anyway, this match was good. Very short, but they kind of made it most for what it is. Like in triple threat matches in wrestling, like you can have two heels ganging up on the babyface. One trying to do a pin, the other heel break up the pin. They end up brawling. But this, they stripped it pretty well. It's like all men for themselves for the championship. One moment it's like Eddie Malenko, Malenko Saturn, Guerrero versus Saturn. They really paced out really well. I think both Malenko and Saturn trade each other's submission holds. The Texas Cloverleaf and the Rings of Saturn. In the end, China hit Dex Saturn with the bunch of roses. She was about to do it with Malenko. Malenko stopped her, and Eddie rolls up Dean Malenko with the alcohol roll up for the win. And reveal inside of the bunch of roses is a lead pipe. So yeah, Yeah, it was a good match. You know, you could tell like the momentum of Eddie and China on. I think the right person was called. Was the right person won on this match. So anyway, I'm sorry. My throat is a bit. I'm a bit dehydrated, man. You know, like I said, it's a heat wave. You know. Let's move on to the next match. So the next match. Oh, before that, there was a segment on this show with Jared Briscoe, who won the hardcore title, beating Crash Holly on SmackDown while Crash is sleeping. Yeah, Briscoe got like jumped by the headbangers. He was paranoid, you know. He was in the men's toilet, and then he kind of jumped to attack both. They were teasing like he's going to get jumped, and because at the time they were doing the 24/7 rule for the title. He's jumped like two guys, like they're holding like drinks and popcorns. They kind of, I think they were catering guys, delivery guys, you know. Briscoe attacked them, you know, but I don't know, man. It didn't really serve any purpose, man. I was just basically, in my opinion, just save it on free TV. You know, I feel like it's just a segment you should come across on Raw or SmackDown. Anyway, but some people find it entertaining. I'm not saying it's entertaining, but it's just not really kind of like serve a purpose. Anyway, so let's move on to the next match. So the next match, we got a no disqualification match. Shane McMahon taking on the Big Show. They were in an alliance, not the alliance, but they're kind of like in a two-man alliance. You know Shane helped the Big Show beat The Rock at No Way Out to get a shot at the WWF Championship at WrestleMania, and then that suddenly turned into a full corners match. You know, and then after WrestleMania 16, Shane turned on the Big Show. He called Big Show a joke, and then Big Show was doing a whole a parody of wrestling gimmicks. You know, he was dressed up like Rikishi, dressed up like Conan the Barbarian. It was dressed up like Hulk Hogan. You know, yeah, it's giving the Big Show some personality and charisma. Ever since he debuted in the company in 1999, he's kind of like the serious guy. You know, whether he was part of the corporation, part of the Unholy Alliance, you know, teaming up with The Undertaker when he had that brief run when he was as the WWF champion. He was a serious guy, and now all of a sudden he's the comedy guy. You know, I don't want to get into it. So, you know, and the video package, you know, you had the Big Show getting beaten down by, I think it was like Tess and Albert, the Big Boss Man, Bolt Buchanan, members of DX. You know, it was getting more heat for Shane going into the match at Judgment Day. The match, like, by the way, there's no bad matches on the show. I'm going to say my overall rating of this show when we get to the end. No bad matches, but it was just like a match is kind of there. I feel like a match you probably see on Raw and SmackDown. It's just what it is. It was a spectacle, I'm trying to say. It was like on script, really like run-ins in this match. You know, you had like Tess and Albert and Trish Stratus, Big Boss Man. You know, I feel like one moment of the match, you know, Big Show like picked up Trish Stratus and throw her towards Tess and Albert. You know, it's basically stacking the odds against the Big Show, against Shane. So I feel like Big Show, they're fighting on the pay-per-view set. You know, Shane was climbing on the pay-per-view set. You know, it's not on the same level he's gonna do. He's gonna do the same spot at SummerSlam in this match against Steve Blackman and against the Big Show at the following year's Backlash show. But instead, you thought Big Show's gonna win. Out comes Bull Buchanan, who's kind of like the Big Boss Man's lackey. They kind of buried the Big Show with amplifiers. One of the amplifiers kind of exploded with sparkles, you know. I think Big Show, Buchanan kind of hit the Big Show on the head with a block. It was a cylinder block. Even though it's fake, it was fake, you know. Like it's it's more like these blocks you see in TV shows and films. You know, you can't literally hit yourself with a real actual cylinder blocks. You know, they're kind of like very hard. But anyway, so Shane pins the Big Show for the win. You know, it wasn't a terrible match, but it wasn't a great match. You know, I thought, you know, their match the following year at Backlash was a bit better. It was a back and forth match. You know, David versus Goliath, because at the time the roles had reversed. But this was just it was teasing like it's going to be a squash match, but people want to see Big Show beating the fuck out of Shane. Shane's beating the chicken shit heel. It's kind of predictable. It was predictable that Shane's going to win, relying on his friends to do the job. And yeah, this was the end of the Big Show. This was Big Show's final pay-per-view match. You know, he didn't laugh. He ended up getting taken off the road because he ended up going to OVW, get more training. You won't see the Big Show again until the Royal Rumble of the following year in the Royal Rumble match. So it's just what it is. You know, I think Big Show had some weight problems in that time period. You know, in the 2000s. It's funny right now. He's in better shape right now compared like 20 years ago. He's just kind of like out of shape. You know, we get more out of shape in 2006 when he was the ECW World Champion. So move on to the next match. So the next match we've got this is a submission match for the Intercontinental Championship. Chris Benoit defending the belt against Chris Jericho. They fought at Backlash the previous month. You know, Benoit retained the belt via a disqualification. I think they were part in that Eurocontinental match at WrestleMania. Both Jericho and Benoit was in that match. I think you had Jericho won the European title. Benoit won the Intercontinental Championship. So and this was start the rivalry between Benoit and Jericho. You know, this video package kind of hype up both their submission holds, kind of sell you on the submission match. You know, Benoit's triple crossface or the crossface. Jericho's Walls of Jericho is technically that's the Lion Tamer. The Walls of Jericho submission hold is just a pattern Boston leg grab. Jericho's version of it is just basically he puts his knee into the opponent's head while locking and grabbing the opponent's legs at the same time. The match was good, solid match. Bit short in my opinion. Like the build up to this, you know, you had Hulk Hogan attack Benoit's legs with the chair. He was wearing like a knee brace on his leg. I'm guessing that was a work, or he actually partly tear his knee. If he partially tear his knee, probably you could still wrestle. You're probably out for a couple of weeks. But if you like tear any ligament in your knee, you'll be out for like 9 months up to a year. Anyway, so match was good. Like I said, you know, you had Jericho working on the leg of I think he kind of like working on the leg of Benoit. Trying to lock in the even though he's not gonna set up the Walls of Jericho, even though the Walls of Jericho is just you're going for the upper legs and also the neck. It's basically the lower back and leg area, upper leg area. As for the Lion Tamer, you're looking. I think it's more locking into the neck area of it. So anyway, so Benoit locking an arm bar, and I think it was a half Nelson lock onto Jericho. Anyway, so in the end, before that, Jericho locking the Lion Tamer or the Walls of Jericho onto Benoit onto the ropes. You know, like it looks like he's locking the tarantula. You know, that's Tajiri's hold, but Benoit refused to submit. In the end, Benoit locked in the cripple crossface onto Chris Jericho. Jericho, instead of tapping out, he's passing out. Like it's kind of off guard, but you know it made Jericho strong in defeat. He's not tapping out. You know, he passed out. So yeah, they can still continue this rivalry. They end up having the 2-hour-free pinfall match at that year's SummerSlam. Like and then they end up have to blow off the rivalry at the following year's Royal Rumble in the ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. And they end up becoming tag team at one point, you know, winning the tag team titles against Austin and Triple H, the 2-man power trip on Raw. That was the same night that Triple H won his quad. They never feud ever again. You know, like in the Ruthless Aggression era. Never feud, never had another match between both Chris's. And yeah, you know, because they're best friends in real life, you know. And because they're both in WCW, their careers kind of intertwined because Jericho was in the cruiserweight division, and then he was becoming the entertaining heel, you know, with Ralphus, you know. Also, as I mentioned, he was cruiserweight champion. Benoit was part of the Horsemen in his time in WCW. You know, I think he was TV champion, United States champion, and he ended up becoming world champion. He ended up becoming a Triple Crown champion, I think, in WCW, winning the world title in his final match in the company before going to the WWF. Anyway, so it's just what it is. But yeah, I think this is the second best match of the night. Bit short in my opinion. I think that most of the matches on the card was a bit shorter because I think they're putting the eggs of the Rock and Triple H match they're gonna have in the main event. So move on to the next match. We got this is a tag team tables match. The Dudleys taking on Road Dogg and X-Pac of D-Generation X with Tori. Not Tori as Tori Wilson, but Tori as Terry Power in the corner of DX. This is, you had a match. I think it was a match. You had Tori distracting Baba. He got put in the table. So this is a rematch to this. I'm gonna say about DX as a group ever since they reformed DX in '99 as a heel group. I think at this moment in time it kind of like outstayed its welcome. They end up breaking up the group once and for all. Later on in the year, you won't see DX overall until 2006 when Triple H and Shawn Michaels reformed that group. But they say in interviews that Triple H breaking away from the group and turn on DX was a bad mistake. Maybe they just want to squeeze some mileage off that group, but at the moment in time, it's just done because I think the group was kind of like on its last legs. Triple H was doing his own thing. He's in that main event picture. Chyna is doing her own thing with Eddie. Billy Gunn suffered a shoulder injury, won't come back until the end of the year as the one Billy Gunn. So yeah, it was on its life support. Tori is probably the worst member of the group. She is just so wooden and bland. In a character standpoint, why she's there. She came in the company the previous year in '99 as Sable's fangirl, and then she ended up becoming Raven's ninja in 2001 before she ended up leaving the company. So yeah, let's get back to this match. The match was fun. Tables matches could be hit or miss. They kind of structure it as just in a normal tag team format instead of a tornado tag team format. I think Baba or Devon got put in the table first. Then it was X-Pac or Road Dogg got put in the table. I think it was X-Pac who got put through the table with the power bomb. In the end, you thought the Dudleys won. They hit Road Dogg. I think it was Road Dogg with the 3D onto the table. And before that, you had Road Dogg kind of hit toss the referee onto the table on the corner of the ring. The teaser like, the Dudley's going to put Tori through the table. Out comes Gerald Briscoe, who's part of Vince McMahon's Stooges, with Pat Patterson, who's the hardcore champion, trying to came to the rescue, trying to distract the Dudleys. In the end, DX, Road Dogg, X-Pac put Bubba through the table to score the victory. Yeah, I don't know. It was some shenanigans. Fun match, but it was just kind of predictable. It's like similar to the Shane Big Show match. It was predictable that DX, Road Dogg and X-Pac gonna win. Afterwards, Dudley's put Jared Briscoe through the table to get some heat, and that was it. So it's just what it is, man. It's funny, like X-Pac and Road Dogg end up feuding later on in the year, and then they end up like breaking up, and then DX was no more at this moment in time. So anyway, let's move on to the main event. So the main event, we got a 1 hour Iron Man match for the WWF Championship. Trying to get my words out. A 1 hour Iron Man match for the WWF Championship. The Rock defended the belt against Triple H with Shawn Michaels as the special guest referee. This is the first Iron Man match in the company since the first Iron Man match in the WWF at WrestleMania 12 between Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. Shawn Michaels, the reason why he's there because it was the time, because he competed in the first hour-long Iron Man match, 4 years prior. So, anyway, Rock defeat Triple H at Backlash, for the championship after he got screwed at WrestleMania 16 in the Four Corners match. This is before around every McMahon family member around around the corner. That's just kind of like, Rock won the belt back, so Triple H challenged The Rock in a Iron Man match. It lasted about 1 hour. He said like, it's not game. He said the game's not over. That's his nickname. His nickname is the game. So anyway, so the video package is really good. I think there's no disqualification, no countouts. That's like totally against I don't know. It's not on the same level as the next 1 hour Iron Man match from Bragging Rights 2009 between John Cena and Randy Orton, but it's just what it is. So anyway, they really structured this match pretty well. I thought this is going to be overbooked with outside interference, but stacking against The Rock, but instead, no, and also The Rock hates Shawn Michaels. He doesn't trust Shawn Michaels because Shawn Michaels screwed The Rock out of the championship against Triple H on the first ever episode of SmackDown the previous year. And everyone knows the story. Rock and Shawn Michaels really hate each other in real life. I don't want to get into that. That's another story for another time. I'll basically look it up, man. Anyway, so this match, like I said, structured pretty damn well. It's a brawl and a technical wrestling match all in one. Like Rock scored the first pinfall with the Rock bottom, and then the next throughout the whole bulk of the match, you had Rock was trailing. Like Triple H hit the Rock with the pedigree in the ring, a small package. He did like a roll up with his foot on the ropes. He got himself disqualified. Hitting the Rock in the head with the chair. He basically and also he kind of made the Rock tap out with the sleeper hold. You had the Rock trailing Triple H. That was good. He was like 5-1 or 5-2. And after when Shawn, he kind of called it down the middle. I thought Shawn is going to turn on the Rock, help Triple H win, or vice versa. Like there was one moment like you had after you kind of pulled Triple H by the hair after trying to let go of the submission hold. Shawn and Triple H kind of push each other. I thought this is leading up to Shawn turning on Triple H. Even though Shawn's retired for 2 years, you won't see that rivalry until 2002. But I thought, I think Shawn, like, he called it pretty damn well. He called, he's not really being heelish, but he's trying to call it down the middle, and he did. Anyway, so The Rock came back with a DDT, and Triple H got himself counted out. One more match. That was a good spot. Triple H was trying to hit The Rock with his own finisher, the Rock Bottom, onto the announce desk, but instead Rock countered it with the pedigree onto Triple H, and the announce desk broken. Rock was bleeding, and Triple H was bleeding. I think he bled like with the pedigree. I think the pedigree was a bit stiff. It wasn't really a safe pedigree. And then the Rock hit the people's elbow onto Triple H to equalize to 5-5. And then, and also before the start of this match, Triple H came down with 3 members of the McMahon family: Vince, Shane, and Stephanie. He told the McMahons he wants to do this on his own, and that's totally out the window. And also, it's supposed to be no disqualifications. That's totally against it. But it's just what it is. I want to get into it. This is technically match of the night. But let's get to the end of this match. You had the McMahons came along, trying to stack the odds against The Rock. The Rock decks Vince and Shane. Out comes Road Dogg and X-Pac. Shane pulled Shawn Michaels out of the ring, but you had Shawn hits Vince and Shane with punches. I think Vince was bleeding in the nose. It'd be really cool if Shawn just hit the switching music on both Shane and Vince, but that's just what it is, And now we got the return of the Undertaker as the American Badass. We haven't seen the Undertaker since he was supposed to be in the 6-pack challenge at Unforgiven the previous year, but instead he got injured. You know, he was the poster boy of that year's show, but instead, you know, he got injured. He came back as an American Badass. You know, I think it was a bit of a gamble. You know, the Undertaker is an established character for the company. You know, it's this gothic mortician. This he was this gothic minister when he's part of the Ministry of Darkness. You know, he's the dead man doing the supernatural stuff. You know, in hindsight, end up, you know, being the best version of the Undertaker. I think it's like being himself. You know, it was good. You know, he came out cleaning house, you know, Road Dogg and X-Pac. I think Vince and Shane. He's trying to attack Stephanie, but Undertaker hit the chokeslam and the tombstone power driver onto Triple H. I'm trying to get my words out. Hit the tombstone and chokeslam onto the onto Triple H. Unfortunately, that was costly. Shawn Michaels came down to the ring. He came out of the ring, informed the ring announcer how the thing called that. You know, Undertaker attacked Triple H. That's an automatic disqualification to award Triple H the 6th and final pinfall, or to win Triple H. He won back the WWF Championship. So sorry about I'm stumbling. Also, my throat is a bit dry. It's just what it is. But yeah. So that was a bit of bullshit finish. You know, it was good. You know, having The Rock. You know, it was a match of the night. They're having a really good match, a really fine match. You know, and then all of a sudden, you know, it's just those stuff with the McMahons and Road Dogg and X-Pac. You know, having The Rock. You know, chasing the lead. Clawing back 255, going into the final second minutes of this match. You thought this is going to go once again to overtime, but now this, you know, good to see the Undertaker. You know, we haven't seen Undertaker in months, and he just make Undertaker more like a dumbass. You know, but yeah, in the end you had the fans throwing crap in the ring. It's basically not shit, but rubbish in the ring, garbage in the ring. They're a bit pissed off. It's the same scenario when Vince turned on The Rock at WrestleMania 16. It's just basically a good match with a bad finish. You know, it's just what's the point of having The Rock? You know, being the champion. You know, he won the belt at Backlash, and he dropped it on this show. He ended up winning the title back in the 6-pack challenge at King of the Ring the following month. Went on to have a solid run with the belt until dropping the belt to Kurt Angle. You know, the three guys in the WWF in the year 2000 holding the belt is The Rock, Triple H, and Kurt Angle. So yeah, it was just bullshit, man. Why they did that? You know, why could just have? I'd rather have Rock just retain the belt on the show. You know, it's just what it is. I don't want to get into it. You know, it's a bit bullshit, man. A bit politic. I don't think it's politics, but I think it's just it's basically getting the title away from The Rock. You know. It's just bullshit, man. You know, you could have two things. You know, have Triple H retain the belt on the show at Backlash and do this match. You know, if Rock failed to beat Triple H for the belt, he'll no longer challenge for the title. You could do many things to do this, but besides that, you know, like I said, bad ending. But besides that, this is technically match of the night. You know, compared to the previous Iron Man match from WrestleMania 12 between Bryan and Shawn, good match, but besides that, it was boring. You know, a lot of rest holds. No, it was 0-0 throughout the whole match. You know, until they go to overtime when Shawn beats Brett for the title. But this, you know, they structured very well. Not rush pins or pins for submission every 2 minutes. They paced it very well and really get the fans in the edge of the seat. So yeah. It was a really good match, but the ending is a bit... My overall rating of Judgment Day 2000, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Wow, this was a really good show. Over the years, I reviewed previous Judgment Day shows. Probably this is the best one. Haven't seen all of it. You know, I covered the 2001 show, the 2002 show, the 2005 show, the 2007 show, now this show. This is probably the strongest Judgment Day show I ever saw. no bad matches on the show. The only two things I put in the bad, for one, that the segments revolve around Jared Briscoe as Hardcore Champion. It didn't serve any purpose, just save it on weekly TV. The ending of the Rock, Triple H, Iron match was a bit BS. But like I said, no bad matches on the show. The only thing I put in the okay is the Big Show Shane match. Good spectacle, but it's not like a terrible match. But it's not like going to be like an instant classic. But it was kind of like okay, an okay brawling match. But besides that, man, this is really good. I like the opener. I like the triple threat European title match. The tables match, is fun. Jericho Benoit. The match of the night has to be the hour-long Iron Man match between The Rock and Triple H. Plus, we got the return of The Undertaker as the American Badass. I advise watching Judgment Day 2000. You got some good brawling and some good wrestling and a good return. It's basically, it's like eating your cake and having it too. So, what's your thoughts on Judgment Day 2000? Please leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash the like button, click the like, click the bell, subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube. Be part of the Central Unit for more wrestling videos and more. Next time, Money in the Bank is just around the corner for 2024. It got me thinking, let's go back to the year of 2014. The last 2014 WWE pay-per-view I review was WrestleMania 30. So let's travel months into the month of June. Daniel Bryan is no longer the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. So they're doing a ladder match to crown a new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And this is the first pay-per-view after the Shield broken up. You know what I'm talking about. The next show I'm going to review is Money in the Bank 2014. Until then, this is the Sedgeman officially signing out.